Well, Stacy the Blackfeather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today I'm super excited. I just received a brand new, hot off the presses deck from a Kickstarter campaign that I supported called the Decadent Tarot. Can't wait to check it out. So, without further ado, let's get to it. All right, so it's in the wrapping and everything. And this is created by Lalanya Simone. I apologize, Lalanya Simone. And what a beautiful box already that I'm just looking at. The magic of Art Nouveau, inspired by the bold black and white illustrations of Aubrey Beardsley. This 78 card deck captures the spirit of the fin de cycle, where art, mysticism, and desire intertwine. Each image has been carefully restored and reimagined to align with the archetypal language of tarot, inviting reflection on both the divine and the decadent within. CosmicSeedStudio.com. Really excited. Okay, let's take a peek. And I'm going to be uber careful about getting this going here. I love the color. First of all, it's that vintage mauve color, and of course, you know, I'm kind of like a purpley girl, so I'm really liking that energy. Loving the decor as well. You know, sort of very simple design. Loving the flowers. Loving the font. The font looks really great. It's just very simple, clean lines. Even a clean back. Everything just looks really cool. Okay, so it's that, you know, pull off top. I like these boxes because they're very sturdy, very solid. Oh, I love the design on the top of that as well. Okay, so it comes with a book. Let's take a look at the book here first. It's small, thin. Lalanya, what a beautiful name. So she talks a little bit about the art that the deck was inspired by. Okay, the decadent cross spread. So she gives a couple of spreads. She gives very brief descriptions, basic descriptions of the major arcana. She's got it broken down into the suits. So we have coins, swords, wands, and cups. So she's kind of kept, for the most part, the traditional. Thank you to all of the Kickstarter backers who made this unique creation a reality. I'm so grateful for your trust and generosity. May this deck bring you joy for years to come. Beautiful. So January of 2026 is when this was printed. Okay, so it's in cellophane, but it's the kind where you can peel it off. So I like this because I'm not going to destroy the cards as I'm opening them up. Oh, check out this gilding. Oh, that is gorgeous. So it's this beautiful pink gilding. I'm going to slide off the band here. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so first of all, the card stock is kind of a little bit of that like plasticky feeling, which I don't mind. I know some people really don't like it. I love it because it's very durable. Sometimes for shuffling, it can be a little messy. You know, you have to really be kind of focused and pay attention to your shuffling, but it's an excellent quality. It's a really nice thickness. I'm loving the backs. The backs are obviously reversible. Loving the colors on the back. Loving the design. Again, that simple, clean design. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, let's check out the cards and see what we've got. Ooh. Okay, so we have the Fool card. Actually, let me do it this way. Okay, so loving the Fool card already. We're seeing the Fool in a side profile, definitely standing on the edge. I love that the color comes from the background, and then the design obviously is in the black and white, which is something that was mentioned on the back of the deck. That's kind of the premise of this deck. And notice that there is no dog. We have lots of flowers, but no like single rose. He just has a trumpet in his mouth, and he's got kind of a magician's hat on him. So that's kind of interesting. More of a simplistic approach. The Magician. So here we have a cloaked figure, looks female to me, looking in her book of spells. A single candlelight lights her path, and she's got the book on a pedestal. So she does look like she's kind of in secret. So this magician would really bring about a lot of the, like sometimes the magician can indicate manipulation or a manipulative individual, a triangulation of sorts. And so that's kind of what I would be tapping into here. Here we have the High Priestess. Oh, very interesting. So very much that Art Nouveau that we would expect. She's wearing a really interesting sort of flowing cape. We see again kind of a side profile of the back of her. She is wearing a crown of interesting, maybe tulips are indicated here. We're not seeing a scroll. We're not seeing pomegranates. We're not seeing any of the usual things that we would see in the deck. So kind of that Art Nouveau. It's not minimalist, but simple, a simple design, one simple figure. Here we have the Empress, and I love the leaves being depicted here to depict that abundance in her field. We have a little bit of yellow in the background of the card. So not every card background is the same, just taking notice of that. So there, we are starting to see a little bit more color in the background. That's kind of interesting. Here we have the Emperor. Oh, he's kind of funny. He makes me think of Plutarch in Hunger Games. And again, we've got just a beautiful background of flowers. I think this might be a pansy in the background. So we're starting to see some more of those colors coming up. Really beautiful. And the Emperor, interestingly enough, the tools, the Emperor has a feather, as in a feather quill, and a pen. So rather, the pen is mightier than the sword. I think that's really interesting. The Hierophant. So looking out out of his book, doing some kind of ritual out of the book, using his hand to, for benefication. The Lovers. So we have two figures here in an embrace. We have a rose in the background. 7, we have the Chariot here. And this is interesting. We have the figure who does not look quite human, kind of a hybrid, is walking, pulling and dressed up, pulling the chariot. And we see a woman sitting in the chariot. So kind of that royalty energy, walking through the streets of, their kingdom, so to speak. Strength card. So kind of traditional. We've got the lion. We've got the female figure. She's holding maybe a crown, or I'm not sure, a lotus flower, a mushroom maybe. I'm not sure, but she's holding something. And they're both looking in a direction, maybe looking on for, some kind of threat or arrival of something. Here we have the Hermit. Interesting. He's a really skinny figure. Big hat. The Wheel. Ooh, that's a beautiful wheel. I love that. Kind of makes me think a little bit of peacock feathers, the peacock eye. Justice. So interesting. Here we're seeing her kind of head on, but she's twisted and her face is turned to the side, and she's holding the scales of justice, facing another way. That's kind of interesting. Maybe not dealing with justice head on, looking at the other perspectives, perhaps, or the other angles. The Hanged Man, or the Hanged One. Okay, so we're seeing the back of this individual, not the front of this individual. Death. So kind of a traditional Grim Reaper image here. Temperance. Ooh, Temperance, the angel is playing a musical instrument. The Tower. Okay, so we've got the fire or the lightning about to hit the tower. Hasn't quite hit the tower yet. So you're about to have a tower moment, but it has not yet struck. The Star card. Beautiful. So, the way her fingers are, it makes me think Dr. Seuss a little bit. So using sort of real figures, but they all kind of have a bit of a fantastical feel to them. And she's kind of floating in the air, which is cool. Moon. So this person is sitting on the moon, right? The man in the moon or the woman in the moon. And it almost looks like she's looking into a mirror. So reflections of herself. The sun card, here we have the traditional baby under the sun, and they don't look like sunflowers, but conceivably they're supposed to be sunflowers. Here we have the judgment card. And so the angel is the focus. We're not seeing the angel raising anyone from the dead, so to speak. We don't see the angel with a trumpet. She's just looking down. She's got her hands together, so perhaps she's getting ready to make the call. Here we have the world card. So we have, a very busy look to the card. We have a background. It's not very often that we're getting backgrounds in these cards. So we have the world figure and a background. She's not in a laurel wreath. There's nothing round, so to speak, about the imagery of this card, but we are seeing grape leaves. We're seeing rolling hills. We're seeing water, the ocean, lots of different elements being acknowledged here, a tree. We've got the castle in the background. And perceivably, the way her hair is, maybe that's the laurel wreath, is the crown over her head to symbolize that victory. Here we have the ace of coins. Here's the pomegranate. Two of coins. Oh, beautiful. She's dancing. She's balancing on her own dresses. That's interesting. Three of coins. So that collaborative energy. Four of coins. Interesting. So this definitely puts me in mind of like a little bit of greed, right? So the four of coins can be a little bit greedy. It can be stingy, miserly. He's got his hands clasped together. He's like, oh, it's all mine. What can I do with it? Five of coins. So this person definitely looks trapped, right? Trapped in a jail of his own making, perhaps. Six of coins. Generosity, abundance being shown here. Gifts that keep on giving. Seven of coins. Beautiful. So here we have an actual sunflower. We have a couple of sunflower, maybe dandelions. Actually, it looks like dandelions, weeds. Harvest, but of course, dandelions and weeds are part of the harvest as well. So pay attention to what it is that you're creating, because this is a card of manifestation. You've now created what your thoughts were. Your thoughts became things. Were your thoughts pure, or were they muddied by fear or wishing harm on someone, that kind of thing. Eight of coins. Beautiful. So mastering your craft, perfecting your craft. And we have two figures here, not just one. So perceivably the teacher and the student, right? Nine of coins. Okay, so here we're seeing a beautiful dove. She's feeding the dove. She's content. There's gratitude for the fact that she's got everything that she needs. 10 of coins. Okay, so here we have kind of like the family tree, that the legacy component of things, ancestry component of things, having all of your needs met, and what comes next. Page of coins. Interesting. He's kneeling and praying. An interesting interpretation. Normally, page of coins I see as like the scientist, the lab assistant, or the person who's running the experiment for the sake of the experiment. I'm not usually seeing them kind of kneeling in prayer or in honor to something or homage to something. That's an interesting interpretation. Oh, she looks fun, kind of fairy-like. We see her wings. Knight of coins. Interesting. She looks like she's ready for battle, but Knight of coins is the slowest knight in the deck, right? Just kind of takes their time to get where they're going. So that's kind of interesting. Queen of coins. So she's definitely, she's sitting on the tree. So there's definitely that recognition that she's sitting in her own abundance, the abundance that she has created for herself. There's no rabbit. There's just that tree energy. King of coins. He looks funny. Definitely very robust and, very much about he's got all of his needs met. He's not moving too fast. He's taking his time, and maybe even a little, I would say like a little greedy in his approach to things as well. Like, I've got all the things I need. I'm happy to give it to you, but you kind of have to do it yourself. Like, I'm not going to do it for you. Ace of Swords. I love that it's like the Lady of the Lake. Two of Swords, interesting, in contemplation. And we're not actually seeing the swords in these depictions. That's interesting too. Three of Swords. So typically a card of heartbreak, a card of betrayal, and she definitely is reflecting that in her face. Sitting under the tree for a little bit of shelter, but not feeling the greatest. Four of Swords, resting, relaxing, relaxing by a mountain edge, looking at the flowers, the meadow, just kind of taking a bit of a break at the edge of a forest. Five of Swords. Interesting. So this usually symbolizes conflict. He definitely looks like he's a bit of a shady character. I would have expected this for the Seven of Swords, more so than the Five of Swords. So that's kind of an interesting depiction. Here we have the Six of Swords, so support and grace, moving on to calmer shores. This is interesting because she's got her, she's leaning on the sword. She's standing in the ocean as though she owns the ocean. And maybe she's the force that is allowing the seas to be calm so that the ship can get to where it is it wants to go. And she's focused on a flower. Perhaps that was a gift that was given to her for smooth passage. Seven of Swords. Okay, we've got a masked figure saying shh. So that definitely fits the Seven of Swords. Strategy, sneakery, dishonesty, lack of integrity. Eight of Swords. So she's definitely tied to these trees, but she's loosely tied. She could wiggle her way out of this if she was willing to take the risk to kind of take the pain to get out of the trouble. Nine of Swords. Interesting. So this figure is wearing a costume of sorts. So kind of says to me the enemy within, right? It's that the inner saboteur that is at play here. Here we have the Ten of Swords. So, a complete and utter rebirth required, like ruin, done, dead, done, gone, over with. And this makes a lot of sense. But what is interesting is that the figure, the figure has left the body behind, but a new figure is emerging. So there's definitely a rebirth component there. Page of Swords. So I like that this Page of Swords isn't kneeling, is actually standing, but is focused on kind of the same direction as the Page of Coins, looking on and looking to, when I'm looking at this, it's looking to the left, looking to the past. It's kind of interesting. Knight of Swords, very much in action, movement forward. Queen of Swords, yes, looking very thoughtful, very stoic. King of Swords, interesting, in motion. I love the big feather coming out of his hat. So definitely, the thoughts, the strategy is here. Moving in a thoughtful way, strategy considered, very considered in its energy. We have the Ace of Wands. Okay, so just a simple wand. Two of Wands, so choosing a direction. We don't have wands here, but we do have, there's a grouping of trees over here, and there's also some kind of an island to explore. So making a choice as to where to go next. Three of Wands. So this is a card of expansion, and we can see that she's looking out over some landscape. Maybe this is land that she's just purchased, and she's trying to decide what to do with it, where she wants to go, how she wants to build her legacy. Four of Wands, beautiful. So instead of people in this, we're seeing the grapevines, the work and effort that goes into growing grapes and tending to those grapevines indicates that you're ready for the next level. 5 of Wands. So there's some training that's happening here. You can see that with the 2 figures. 6 of Wands. This is victory. 7 of Wands. So a card of defense. Interesting. There's a heart that's depicted here. Says that this person very much is connected to service, connected to his heart's passions, wants to matter, wants to make a difference. The object that he's holding is quite sharp. So daggers, there's kind of a built-in protection there. 8 of Wands, swift release. She looks like she's getting ready to kind of spread her wings and fly. 9 of Wands. This could also be like, I just thought of like releasing ashes. 9 of Wands. So the wounded warrior, control, resilience. Yeah, he looks a little worse for wear. Whew. 10 of Wands, rewards and the burdens that go with it. So lots of knowledge, but maybe he only needed to take 2 books at a time rather than 10. This reminds me of me because I tend to be that person. I'm the person that tries to, bring all 10 bags in one trip from the car to the house. When I go to the library, I'm like, oh my God, this sounds interesting. And this sounds interesting. And this sounds interesting. And before you know it, I've got an armful of books and there's no way I'm going to get through them all, in the time that I have with them type thing. Page of Wands. So this page is looking to the right, looking to the future, looking to the now, the present moment, and what is transpiring. Holding presumably wands in his hand. Knight of Wands, again, looking to the right, very focused on the present and what is to come. Kind of an interesting hat. Queen of Wands, loving this. We've got the peacocks. King of Wands. Interesting. King of Wands is looking to the left now. Looking a little egotistical. Normally this is a figure of confidence, but this kind of looks a little egotistical. He's feeling himself. Let's put it that way. Ace of Cups. Just want to make sure that you guys can see this all right. Okay. So just a very simple depiction of the cup. 2 of Cups, 2 people coming together, one holding the cup, the other one watching. Maybe it's an invitation. 3 of Cups. I like the swans here. That's beautiful. 4 of Cups. Very contemplative, trying to hide almost. 5 of Cups. Yeah, a card of grief, a card of loss. 6 of Cups. So the youth offering something as a reminder, a memory. 7 of Cups. 8 of Cups, releasing, letting go, walking away. She's almost showing a bit of resistance. 9 of Cups. So this is like the greedy merchant or the wealthy merchant. He's looking pretty happy, looking pretty proud of himself. 10 of Cups. Oh, definitely a big celebration. People acknowledging the celebration, sharing in that beautiful evaluation of what has come to pass. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. By the fountain. That's pretty. And King of Cups. Wow. Okay, so this deck for sure is based on the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. I would say this would not necessarily be a good beginner deck, simply because you kind of have to know the meaning behind the cards in order to fully kind of understand their meaning because of the style that this card deck is showing. But I mean, the gilding is beautiful. As you can see, they're shuffling beautifully. And in true Stacy style, I am going to connect with the cards and see how this deck wants to work with you if you want to work with it. And we'll see what card comes up. This one is standing out to me. Oh, interesting. The Tower. So this deck is going to be quite surprising in the insight that it brings. It's going to cause you to shake things up. It's going to encourage you to look a little deeper. And I think that's why we've got the black and white with the rich, darker colors that are used as the background, because not everything is black and white. But when you look at things black and white, you're looking at the extremes. And when you look at the extremes, you understand your boundaries. You understand maybe what needs to be torn down, broken down, built back up, fortified. And I feel like that's why the Tower is coming up for this particular deck. It's also going to always consider encouraging you to look at the different perspectives on things, and anything that you are asking it that just isn't going to serve you, it's going to point that out. It's going to show you in real time why this isn't a good thing. I feel like this deck is not going to kind of beat around the bush. It's really good. And we saw that when we were looking at some of the imagery. It's going to give you a really clear understanding of, because each figure is represented, it helps you to really look within. It's kind of like, no, let's look at you. What part are you playing in this? How is this going to affect you? Because ultimately, you are responsible for the choices that you make. If you want something to change, you're the one who has to initiate the change. And I feel like that's really the energy of what this deck is going to give with anyone who decides to work with it. Wow, super cool. So guys, that is our Decadent Tarot by Lalanya Simone. And I'm kind of excited to work with this deck and see what it's going to bring me. So that is our Divinely Decked for this week. As always, like, subscribe, click the bell on my YouTube channel. Hype the video if you are so inclined. Click that join button to see how you can become a fabulous Phoenix. And let's keep the conversation going and go a little deeper. Would love to connect with you in that way if you are so inclined. Until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life, sending you lots of love and support. We'll see you on the flip side, and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture Divining the VIP Life.